Hey, what's up, vinyl community? So, I stopped by a local thrift store the other day. They did not have much to choose from, but from their little bit, I actually acquired quite a few albums just to kind of help my ever-widening collection get bigger. Some albums I've heard, some I haven't, but I figured I'd pick them up. But I also have a bit of a gripe with thrift stores in general, this one in particular for sure. This has probably been discussed on the VC before, and I know it's something that all of you have dealt with as well. So I'm going to mention that while I go through these items, but let's get to it. This won't take long. I'm not going to discuss in depth every single album because not all of these are like fantastic great. They're like, oh, that's a cool one to have. I've seen that before, or I haven't seen that before, or whatever. Let's do this. Okay, so as we are heading into this holiday season, of course we should be having our eyes, our ears open for new music to spin on the old turntable there. And I found 4 Christmas albums at this thrift store that I did not own previously. So the first one's this handsome fellow right here, Mr. Johnny Mathis with Merry Christmas. On the back side, got a cool like postcardy handwritten thing here by the man himself. Red label and nothing too fancy there. Songs that you would expect. Oh Holy Night, Silent Night, Sleigh Ride, Winter Wonderland, that kind of a thing. The next one that I've got is going to segue into, really quickly, my gripe, and that would be this. Here's the album. It's called The 12 Hits of Christmas. Compilation, got Gene Autry on it, Brenda Lee, Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, just a really cool, eclectic grouping of musicians and songs. It's on United Artists. So my gripe is this, though, and I'm sure you've all dealt with this. This is ridiculous. They put stickers, big, fat, rectangular stickers with their prices on all of their albums. So when you purchase them, you have to hope and pray that they will come off okay. And some do, and some don't. And then it makes your album, which is not like this was ever worth anything, but it does deplete in value and in visual when this kind of stuff happens. Why do they do that? It just doesn't make any sense. Put your sign up, $2 an LP, $3 an LP, whatever you want to do on the side. Let us bring up the LPs. You count them, do the math, charge us. But don't put the stickers. All these albums were the same price, and they all had a huge sticker on them. So, gripe over. Next Christmas album was this one right here. Mannheim Steamroller from 1984. Talks about right here that you can get the sheet music if you want to. Haven't owned this one before. It's on their own label, actually, America Gramophone, if you look there. And I love that they took the time to put the Santa and the reindeer on there. So, super cool. Side A is like Deck the Halls, We Three Kings. And then side B, it says Christmas Suite. Senza Rock and Roll Davis 1984. And it's got Carol of the Birds, I Saw Three Ships. So I've never listened to this before. Looking forward to it because it sounds actually kind of interesting and not so straightforward Christmas. The last of the 4 that I received or picked up right here. I mean, Diana Ross and the Supremes. How can you go wrong with a Christmas album of Diana Ross and the frickin' Supremes, right? Vinyl's in pretty good shape on this white label here. And, of course, just classics, right? White Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Joy to the World, My Christmas Tree. So, some really cool tunes right here. So, those are the Christmas albums. Let's look at the other stuff I grabbed right now. All right. Singer, songwriter, pianist, Neil Sedaka. I mean, it's kind of a compilation album. Didn't own it yet. I think it's cool. It comes on Elton John's label there. If you see there, the Rocket Record Company. But yeah, just a cool album for a couple of bucks in pretty decent shape. I thought, heck, why not? Okay, so I picked up Paul Simon, There Goes Rhymin' Simon. This is like my 3rd copy of this, I promise you. But when I see it and the vinyl looks halfway clean, I got to pick it up and just see which one's the cleanest to put together, the best one, and I'll give the rest of them back to the thrift store one day. Another victim of stickerage. Freaking shameful. But this is his 3rd studio album. Okay, the inside's nice. and came out in May of 1973. And it's kind of cool. I mean, if you listen to this, you've got yourself gospel, Dixieland, folk, like a little bit of everything. So it's a pretty cool album. If you've never heard it, check it out. Okay, next up, I have Sunlight by Sir Herbie Hancock. Now, this album's pretty cool because, for one, this picture is sick. It's everything. It's amazing. Red label, nothing too exciting. What makes this album really exciting for me, or cool, two things. One, all of his vocals are done through a vocoder, so it's got that synthesized sound to it, which is kind of cool. And then also on one of these tracks, Jaco Pastorius actually plays bass, and I really like Jaco. I'm a big fan of his. I have his Record Store Day compilation and stuff, and some cool stuff, so I had to pick this one up. Okay, from February 1963, I had to pick up this right here, Johnny's Newest Hits. It's still got the shrink on it, which is really cool. And what this is it's like a compilation album, and it has on it 6 of his singles. The A-sides and the B-sides are all on this album right here. It's got songs like Gina and some other really big hits for him. So had to pick this one up because it looked like it was in pretty good shape, and I don't own it yet. Okay, next up I have the DeCastros Sing from, I believe, 1960. 3 Latin American girls. Their names are Babette, Cherie, and Olga. And think like Andrew Sisters, that kind of era. 3 girls harmonizing and stuff like that. It's cool. I've never seen it in person on vinyl. I've listened to them, before online, but I've never seen this. So I had to pick it up. I believe it's on the Capitol Rainbow vinyl right there. And just it's a cool listen. So definitely check this thing out if you get a chance. Okay, next one, another casualty to the freaking price stickers at a thrift store. Everybody knows this album. I was gonna pick it up because it was in pretty clean shape until this happened right here, but 8th studio album by Styx, Pieces of 8. Not their most popular, but not a bad album by any means. So I picked it up and this happened. Okay, recorded in 1974, released in 1975. I'm actually pretty excited about this one right here. Grover Washington Jr., Mr. Magic. And just a great, if you don't know, he's a saxophone player. And he is just fantastic. And I do not own this album on vinyl. Well, I didn't. So, kudo, says right there. And it's always been a really cool album cover. I've always thought every time I've seen this. But I'm stoked to have it, pay a couple of bucks, and now I've got some really, really good jazz from a year before I was born to jam to. Okay, I'm a lover of Nancy Wilson. I truly am. This one, well, she wrote it for me. It's called Hello, Young Lovers. I'm a lover of it. Never mind. Anyway, Nancy Wilson, Hello, Young Lovers. Still in the shrink. Got a little sticker here that I can't quite get off yet, but I'm leaving for now because I don't want to rip the shrink. Okay. So, and then, freaking sticker. So not sure if I'm actually going to keep this one. I might look for another copy online or something for a couple bucks, buy it, and then give this one back to a thrift store. But how glad I am right there. Everything else on it looks really, really nice. So bummer, but gotta love Nancy Wilson. All right, from 1965 on Warner Brothers, I got this Vic Damone album, You Were Only Fooling, still in the shrink. Has some, old store. I forgive this. This is okay. This makes this album cooler as far as I'm concerned. It's the other crap I can't stand. But You Were Only Fooling, I'll Never Find Another You, The Thrill of Loving You, all kinds of goodies on here. So definitely a cool pickup, especially in this shape. So I'm stoked to have this one. Okay, so right here, Tavares, or Tavares, depending on how you've heard it said. These guys are brothers. This is from 1976. And I love the album cover. It's one of those album covers where it's textured, where this is raised, as well as the picture of the guys right back here. Their biggest single is actually this one right here, Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel. Most of you have probably heard it, whether you think you have or have not. But yeah, haven't seen this out in the wild before, but I've listened to them on some of my Spotify funk playlist. So Capital Red, now I own it. Pretty stoked. Okay, lastly, from 1972, Don McLean's third studio album, just called Don McLean. The back looks like this, but the front, these people put 2 stickers, 2 different prices from Goodwill on here. Tried my best, couldn't get them off. The vinyl's in actual decent shape, so I think I might go ahead and keep it, listen to it, and when I find a cleaner cover, I'll go ahead and take care of that. But just another casualty to people not understanding the value in products such as a clean vinyl record. But this one is the follow-up, right? This is the third one. The second one was American Pie. So not a big hit, but it's an okay album. So definitely worth having for just a couple bucks if it wasn't for this crap. But anyway, mans, that's it. I be done. That was my thrift store. I think I spent like a total of maybe like 25 bucks and got a lot of good albums to listen to, even some holiday ones. Super stoked. Catch you next time.